Continuing in Hilchas Chanukah, here's a very important point in terms of placement. There's two factors that go into where you place your menorah. Factor one, which we're most all familiar with, is pirsumei nisa. You got to get the word out. It's got to be clear you're lighting Hanukkah candles and you're showing the nest that Hashem did. Factor two, less known, is that it has to be clear that it's your Hanukkah candles. That's according to some people, others say it's just that it has to be biyaches to you, but it has to be your Hanukkah candle. So there has to be pirsumei nisa, it has to be your pirsumei nisa. So you want to find some place that has that those two aspects in excellence, but sometimes there's a conflict. So for instance, let's say I here in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, where it's safe, a lot of people light downstairs in the chutz. So that's that your Mekayim Chazal that everybody should light at the Pesach HaChutzer, L'Rishus HaRabim. That's part of L'Rishus HaRabim. It's beautiful. You light downstairs, and that way you get, it would seem, the most pirsumei nisa, and it's meyaches to you also. However, let's say there's 6 families that are lighting downstairs in the Pesach of the Rishus HaRabim, in the stairwell. So now you may have pirsumei nisa, but you don't have necessarily a yichus to you. On the other hand, let's say you light in your window, so now you have a clear yichus to you, but you don't have your ultimate pirsumei nisa of lighting it outside. Which is your preference in such a case? This is Nogea, I would say probably 90% of us. What is the preference to go? So this is a machlokes Rashi and Tosafos. As simple as that. Tosafos says, light outside, we're talking about here in Eretz Yisrael now, light outside, and don't worry about the fact that people are not going to know that it's your menorah. There are those that actually sit by their menorah to make sure this is my menorah, but you don't have to do that. It doesn't say that in the halacha that you have to do that. Don't worry about it. That's only lechatchila. The main thing is to light outside. He actually brings a very interesting raya because the Gemara brings a case that, let's say we only have one menorah, me and Shlomo, we only have one menorah, so I can light on one side, you can light on the other side. So it's certainly not miyuchas to who it is. That's what Tosafos says. Rashi says, no way. The more important thing is that it should be known that it's, of course you have to have pirsumei nisa, but it has to be your pirsumei nisa. People have to know that you're mefarsem hanes. So what's the preference? So the answer is that if you could be Mekayim Shteiim, you do. Let me read to you from Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, Olav Shalom. Im echad b'diyarei habayis kvar hidlik b'pesach habinyan. You went to light outside, somebody lit there already. There's already candles there. Odiv tvei shah acher, the second man coming, which would always be me, yadlik b'chaloin hapoineh l'rishus harabim. Better off in a window. You're better off in a window. Why? Because in the window, you have two things. If you have, especially if it's not, of course, if it's not chaf abahai, which is unlikely that it's going to be chaf abahai. But if you're facing the Rishus HaRabim, you get it's biyaches to you, and you have pirsumei nisa. And we see that the Chazal provide for a chalon. So Shlomo Zalman says in Halichas Shlomo Amud Reish Al Ayin that Tfei Sha'acher Yadlik B'Chaloin Hapoineh L'Rishus HaRabim. You should light in the window, so there should be no confusion that it's yours. Just on the same track, in this sefer, which is Shmuel Kamenetsky Shalita, he writes here. In any case, he says, B'Binyan Megurim, that's an apartment building. Mokabad Lokal L'Chol Adayor B'Pesach Cheder HaMadregot. You want to write light, like we do here, on the outside of the stairwell facing the Rishus HaRabim. Umadlikin shab af im kvar hidliku acher. Shab doesn't make a difference how other people came first. Still light there. Avol, says Shmuel Kamenetsky, im yesh lo merpeset haponeh l'Rishus HaRabim. If you happen to have a porch on Dolev and it's facing the Rishus HaRabim, adif lahadlik sham. Better to light there. So he's learning, interesting thing, he's learning that a merpeset somebody here, I told him to light on their merpeset on Dolev, on the railing on Dolev, and people criticized him, and they said that, there's a chalon, there's a chutz there. What's a merpeset? A merpeset has no din. So that person who criticized him was wrong. A merpeset has, according to some, a din of a chalon, and according to some, a din of a chutz. So it's either a chutz or a chalon. What is it? It's either a chutz or a chalon. And if it's your best shot at the Rishus HaRabim, it's a good idea to light on the merpeset. So this is where he says that sometimes, especially if somebody else is lighting downstairs first, your merpeset is a better option. Now the question still remains: if you have a merpeset, you have a chalon, which one is better? If you have to choose there. So my feeling is that the merpeset's better. Why? Because the chalon, if you have a merpeset, you have a chalon equal Rishus HaRabim access. Probably a merpeset's better because where the Gemara talks about a chalon, it talks about a dar ba'aliyah. It's talking about somebody who's living in an inaccessible place. So the merpeset, we don't know about a chalon on the first floor in the regular house. Logic says it's the same thing, but there's also an Indian of a chutzer, and many poskim say that a merpeset is a chutzer. Even nowadays, it's a chutzer. You keep things there, you go there, you use it. It's a chutzer. It's not just for sunbathing. It's a chutzer. Even if it was just for sunbathing, that's a chutzer. It's mishabesh the house. So merpeset is a good idea. If downstairs doesn't work for you in terms of pirsumei nisa, just to summarize everything I just said, because that way you're yotzei l'chora Rashi and Tosafos. It's both. You're both getting the yachas. It's associated with you because it's your merpeset, and there's pirsumei nisa of a chutzer because that is a chutzer.